Hello, Dr. Karen here, and I'm going to do a LifeWave micro training, some tips and techniques related to how to use the LifeWave phototherapy to help with symptoms. Now, today's topic is about breathing better. So I got a text from one of my team members saying that she knew someone who was recovering from COVID-19 and was having problems with breathing. So what we're doing is we're taking some traditional Chinese acupuncture points, and we're going to be putting LifeWave phototherapy patches to activate these points and also to help support the body in its own self-healing. Now, just as a, just to make sure we're in compliance with the FTC and FDA, we are not talking about treating COVID-19 or treating any diseases like asthma, etc. We're just talking about alleviating that symptom of shortness of breath and having problems breathing. So we're going to be using and talking about specific acupuncture points with the patches. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite protocols for helping with the symptom and to help increase your ability to breathe better. Okay, so what you will need is the X39 patches. Okay, so these patches help to stimulate and activate healthy stem cells, and in the clinical studies have shown to increase lung function. Cool. Very cool. Okay, so we're going to use one of these. So we're going to take one out of the package here. The other one you're going to be using is the energy enhancer patches. These are very, very versatile because you can place them over acupuncture points that are pertaining to whatever symptom that you are looking to treat. So, for example, we are going to be using lung points. Makes sense, right? Breathing. We're going to be using lung points, and lung points are on both sides of the body. Right and left side. So the energy enhancer patches has a white patch and a tan patch. And the white goes on the right, rhymes, white on right, and the tan goes on the left. So what we're going to do is take one set out. Now, if you're brand new to using LifeWave patches, please know there are 2 patches for each application for energy enhancers, not just one, because it doesn't work if you just put one on. So you've got here a white on the right side, tan on the left. So I'll show you in a moment what we do with that. And the third patch you'll need for this particular protocol that I'm sharing with you today is the Aeon patch. So the Aeon patch is known to decrease stress and inflammation. And a lot of people that are recovering from lung-related issues have gone through some pretty intensive inflammation and of course stress. So this is very, very helpful for many, many things. And so I'll show you how you can use the Aeon patches in this particular protocol. So we'll take one of those out as well. Now, in order to show you where these go, I'm going to go ahead and put, because I don't want to adhere them permanently to my body, for purposes of teaching, I'm just going to use a curl of tape and show you where they go. Now, they actually do activate immediately as soon as you put them near the body, because your body's body heat will activate these patches and they'll start to go to work, and they last around 12 hours, and then we usually tell you to take it off we want to signal the body for 12 hours and then let the signal rest, and so your body can respond to the signal again the following day. So you don't want to use the same patch over and over and over again on the same point over and over and over again, because that point can get kind of used up. And so I'm going to show you where some of these locations are. So let me show my screen here. We're going to go like this and share the screen. Okay, so let's start over here. So the first point we're going to use is conception vessel 17. This is an acupuncture point. It is found in the middle of the chest. And for guys, usually it's in alignment with the nipple line. For girls, it may or may not be, depending on how big your boobs are. Okay, for me, it's about the same place, but but for people with big boobs, it could be higher or lower. So what I usually tell people to do is to push, in medical terms, palpate, push down the breastbone until you find a sore spot. Oh, there it is. Okay. There it is. So find the sorest spot somewhere between the nipple line in this area, a couple inches up or down. Find the sore spot. So that's your CV17. Now, you can look up these acupuncture points yourself online, so I'll just read this out to you. The traditional Chinese medicine actions of this point is to regulate qi and down bears the counterflow, meaning that if people are coughing up, that is an abnormal flow of the qi. We want the qi to go down, down. So it clears the lung and transforms phlegm, loosens the chest, and disinhibits the diaphragm. So the diaphragm sometimes will get kind of tight and taut. And so this helps to relax that diaphragm. It's indicated for dyspnea, which means shortness of breath, hiccups, chest pain, lactation insufficiency. Okay. Secondary indications including shortness of breath, cough, spitting up blood, chest discomfort, pain, vomiting of foamy drool. Interesting. Okay, not sure what death-like inversion means. Heart palpitations, sorrow, and fear. So it has a lot of different secondary indications. So we're not going to needle this because we're not going to do it with needles. We're actually going to do it with phototherapy patches. So the patch you want to use for this is the X39. So whoop, there we go. I've got my X39 here. Okay. And for now, I'm just going to place this using some tape. So it doesn't matter whether you tape the front or back, but I'm just going to again show you on my body where it is. So here's where it's sore. I'm going to put it right over here. So your X39 is going to go over CV17. Okay. So next spot is lung 1. Let me just show you some pictures here. There we go. Lung 1 and lung 2. So whether you use lung 1 or lung 2, it doesn't really matter. Why? Because the action of the patch is pretty big. So you're actually hitting both lung 1 and lung 2. You're activating both acupuncture points. Cool or cool? Okay. So lung 2 is more at kind of like, it's almost like a corner between the muscle here and the top of the clavicle. This is your clavicle right here, this bone. And it's like if you go up, there's like a little bend in it, and that little depression is lung 2. And if you're to go a couple of finger widths down, down that line, lung 1 is right next to it, about an inch or two below that. So in me, here's lung 2, here's lung 1. So this is where you're going to put the energy enhancer patches. And so I'm going to take my tape here. And we'll go ahead, white goes on the right. Okay, so white goes on the right. And we're just going to put, I'm going to put it right, well, I'm going to put it in between lung 1 and lung 2. And lung 1 and lung 2 on the left. The tan goes on the left. Okay, so here's lung 2. See, I can do this without looking in a mirror. So here's lung 2 and here's lung 1. So I'm just going to, again, put it near the mirror. Now, does it matter if one's slightly off? Not really. So let me share with you the what lung 1 does. Okay, so the action of lung 1, which is the lower one, regulates and descends the lung qi. We talked about the lung qi. If you're coughing, it's going up the wrong direction. So descends the lung qi, it goes down. That's where it's supposed to go. It disperses and eliminates the fullness and stuffiness in the chest. So it helps to expand that part of the chest. It tonifies true qi. Cools the upper warmer, adjusts qi circulation. So a lot of people that have been going through, cough, bronchitis, COVID, whatever it is, have like heat in their upper area. So it helps to release that heat, transforms phlegm, cools the upper warmer. Lung 2, okay. Lung 2 is good for pain and fullness and oppression in the chest. So people feeling like heaviness in the chest, helps to release that. It actually may help with shoulder tension and pain as well. Difficulty breathing, wheezing, cough, asthma symptoms, and here it says difficulty lying down from painful or difficult respiration with shortness of breath. Okay, that's very specific, but so that is the indications for lung 1, lung 2, and you're actually going to be activating both points. Okay, so this is really great. You've got one on the right, one on the left, so you want to use energy enhancer patches. Now, if you don't have energy enhancer patches, you can also use Ice Wave, because Ice Wave also has a white and a tan. It's indicated for pain, but you can still activate these points with Ice Wave, and it actually does increase the flow of energy in the body and between the patches. So you can use that just as well as the energy enhancer patches. Okay, so now you're thinking, well, what do I do with the Aeon? Okay, so let's put our tape on the Aeon here. I'll put it on the outside, doesn't really matter, outside or inside. Okay, now this point is a little bit trickier to get to and is optional. I'll show you the two options. Now, the ideal point to get to is GV12. Yes, GV12. So governor vessel 12 helps with lung support as well. And it is in the thoracic level, level 3. And you can see it's a few spots down from the one we commonly use, which is the bump at the back of the neck. So the bump at the back of the neck is GV14. And so you're going to go a few down from that. So T3. So I know it's a little hard. I'm just going to count down for you, and I can barely reach it myself, but I'm going to show you exactly what I would do. I'm pretty flexible. So, okay, here we go. So hopefully you can hear me. Okay. Here's C7. C7, there's the bump. Okay. There's T1, T2, T3. There we go. All right, there's T3. Okay, so I know some people aren't as flexible, and that's okay. So what you want to do is put it as far down as you can reach, okay? And put your intention on, I am activating GV, governor vessel 12, okay? So just down here, 12. Now, if you can't reach that, or you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not even close, it's okay. Just use a brain balancing point. So you can actually take your Aeon patch and just put it on the bump, on the back of the neck. That is still a very, very powerful point. It helps to balance the nervous system very quickly. I use this in my brain balancing protocol. So those are your two options for the Aeon patch. So let's go ahead and review. Okay. So number one, we are going to use the X39 on the center of the chest where it hurts, and that's conception vessel 17. We are going to use the energy enhancer patches or the ice wave on the lung points, and it can either be lung 1 or lung 2 or somewhere in between. This is my right side. This is my left side. And then the Aeon patch for stress and inflammation is going to go either in the back of the neck, if that's all you can reach, or as low as you can reach down here, okay? Down here, as far as you can go. And that's going to hit governor vessel 12. So there you have it, all this lung support. Now, one of the reasons that I'm using this particular protocol, it's actually quite simple, but one of the reasons I really like this protocol is because, first of all, we are using multiple acupuncture points to help support the lung organ. But second of all, look at the geometric configuration of this protocol, okay? Here, what does it look like? It's a triangle, okay? And then we have one in the back, right? So if you can kind of imagine in your mind that there's multiple triangles being created here, and if you will, prisms or pyramids, if you will, because the body is not flat. I mean, it's three-dimensional, you know? So we're actually making like a three-dimensional crystalline structure, if you will, with the patches resonating with each other, resonating in your body. And that increases what Dr. Dennis Lobstein of LifeWave talks about, the coherence of the energy system of the body. It does, the more coherent your energy is, the stronger you are, the healthier you are. So wearing patches helps you with this coherence. And so if you know someone that may be suffering from breathing issues, whether it be from COVID or something else, it doesn't really matter, try this out. And one of the things you want to definitely do is drink lots of water, okay? Because the patches work best when you're well hydrated. The water is part of that energy system that helps that energy travel and that information to travel. So I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube, and there is actually a YouTube playlist with all my LifeWave training tips, my micro training tips. And so you can check it out at patchtrainingteam.com/micro training. And that will get you to that playlist. I'm just going to check in and see if there are any questions. Hi, Alyssa. Hi, Marion. Lisa says, what if I don't have the edgy ones or the ice waves? Are there others I could put on the lung points? I have Aeon, X39, glutathione, SP6, and Alavita. Great question. Although in this case, our preference is energy enhancer patches or ice wave, you can actually put patches that are relatively electropositive and electronegative. So in other words, in your case, I would suggest that you keep the X39 here, the Aeon at the back, put glutathione on the right and SP6 on the left. Why? Because glutathione is relatively positively charged and SP6 is negatively charged. And so they actually yin-yang, if you will, the yang side, the yin side. So that's what I would do. Now, is it wrong to like swap it up and put X39 here and glutathione here? Yeah, you could do that. I just really tend to like the X39 in the center line for this lung issue, because we know X39 helps to activate stem cells and often helps with inflammation. And we have lots of testimonial reports of people breathing better with the X39. So I like to put it in that big, that CV17 point. And then so for you, you put glutathione on the right, SP6 on the left. Now, say you didn't have glutathione, but let's see, what else do you have? Alavita. Yeah, you could theoretically put Alavita on the right, SP6 on the left. We just know SP6 goes on the left because it's relatively negative. And then if you said, oh my gosh, I only have Aeon and SP6, right, or something, theoretically, you could put a second Aeon on or SP6, or you could just put one SP6 on. You don't have to activate both sides. We're activating both sides so we can get the best geometrical configuration and the biggest amount of energy and support. So yes, you're welcome, Lisa. And Claudia says, can this protocol help with sinus and phlegm? Yeah, so what we're doing here is really focusing on the chest and the lungs, but the lung energy, of course, has to do with sinuses. And phlegm, if the phlegm is from the chest, I would definitely recommend this protocol. If you have more symptoms in the sinus, less in the chest, then I probably wouldn't have you use the X39 or Aeon in this configuration. I'd probably have you put stuff more closer to where you have the symptoms. So for example, you could use energy enhancers here. You could put Aeon. If you have, sinus stuff up here, you can put Aeon here. X39, I don't think it really matters where you put it for sinuses. I have another video that I've done previously. I don't think I have a micro training on that. Well, maybe I do. Can't remember. But one of the things you can do is also put ice wave. So ice wave is better than energy enhancer patches for sinus because it moves energy much better, okay? Even though you don't have necessarily pain in your sinuses, but if you have, sinus trouble here, then you could use a triangle. You could use Aeon here, which balances your brain, helps you stay your nervous system more balanced. And then you could put ice wave here, okay? And then you could put energy here, and then X39 here, if you would like. So I know that's kind of fancy, but yeah, just answering that question. So yes, you could do that if you really wanted to. Now, if you didn't have Aeon, you could just put X39 here, ice wave here. The nice thing about having the ice wave and energy enhancer patches is there's a white and a tan, so a yang and a yin, and so you can actually, have symmetrical, energy flow in the body. So I hope that helps. Again, check out my YouTube channel. You can, click to subscribe. I have lots of different kinds of videos, but I do these LifeWave micro trainings pretty much every week or every other week. So I look forward to the next one. And actually, the next one I'm going to record pretty quickly. So because I'm on a roll. So thank you so much for joining me, those of you live, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.